Okay, I don't think anybody's joined yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and hopefully get everybody started. Thing. Hey guys, we'll go ahead and get started in just a second. Just give me a minute to get the right place. Okay, I've just got one person in so far, so I'm gonna just a moment. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I know that there is not many people in yet, but we are sort of on a timer. I've got to do another one of these at 4:45, so we'll just get through as quickly as we can. And if somebody joins, that's okay too. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get started just looking over the course, kind of what to expect. I'm going to be just sort of like really kind of briefly going over the syllabus and different policies, and then just what to expect for this first week. So Valencia, I know you're the only one in here right now, but I appreciate you coming and listening in and just being here to begin the course with us. So if you haven't used Blackboard before, it is pretty user-friendly. It's probably one of the most common LMS systems that is out there. There's also like Canvas and Moodle and a few more. But yeah, this is Blackboard's a pretty universally known one. So it should be pretty user-friendly. And if you haven't used it before, it's pretty easy to navigate. So I'll start out by showing you, this is the announcements page. So hopefully you can see this, or this is what you are seeing on your module pages. I'm going to enter the student preview just to make sure that I have everything released correctly, just to kind of double check myself here. Okay, so I've already posted a couple announcements today, just kind of letting you know about the course. It was also like in our email that we had on Friday as well. But this is where our announcements will be posted, and I do post there weekly, and we do have like a weekly check-in as well. And after we go through the weekly check-in, it'll be posted here additionally. Just to clarify a little bit, I was aware that there was kind of a typo thing going on the Start Here module this morning. It was just, I've kind of changed the format of things, and I think I just forgot to change the wording there. But there is no Welcome to Art Appreciation Ed Puzzle. The virtual orientation has like replaced that assignment. So that was in the writing earlier this morning. So if you saw that, I've replaced it, and the wording has been changed. So don't worry about the Welcome to Art Ed Puzzle just yet. So we've got our syllabus on this like little navigation bar here. We've got our syllabus to the next one. And instead of just walking you through that, it's very just like black and white. I've got a little PowerPoint that I'll show instead that hopefully will be a little bit more user-friendly. And then I've also posted this PowerPoint in the Start Here module in case you want to look back on it for anything. So we'll start here. Also, while I'm getting this pulled up, I'm at home right now and I have some dogs. So if you hear any little puppy noises barking out the window, that's what's going on. They'll inevitably do it at some point. So, alrighty. Here's my instructor information, just really basic ways of contacting me. This information is posted all over Blackboard though. So if you don't want to go back to the PowerPoint, you can find it in like the instructor information and the course information and probably more as well. So my email there is my gaston.edu email. And just as a reminder, we always need to be using our Gaston College email addresses. We do not need to at any point be using an outside email address or even like your high school email address. I know you have those assigned to you as well, but I'm not allowed to answer non-Gaston College emails. So it's just a college policy. So please make sure that you're checking that email regularly and that you are emailing me only from that email. I do have office hours in person if that works better for you, but if you're taking this class online, it's probably because you have some time restraints. And so if you do want to meet with me in my office, I'm more than happy to do that with you. We'll just have to set up a in-person meeting. Usually I'm in there though from 9 to 1 p.m. But don't just like show up during that time. I would, just send me an email, just like a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to be in your office at this time, or I'll be on campus at this time. Can you meet? Because I might be running around on campus doing something else. But normally I'm in there from 9 to 1, or I'm somewhere on campus and can meet with you during that time. I also have an office phone number if you'd like to talk with me over the phone, and that's listed right there. Again, I'm only in my office from like 9 to 1 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. And so if you're calling me outside of that time on the office phone, I probably won't answer. I will say the best way to contact me is through email. And then if you want to have a meeting with me, the easiest way is typically just to set up a Zoom session where we can talk one-on-one. That just seems to be the most like, transparent way of communication. And especially if you're wanting to meet and talk with me about something that's like, gonna be a longer conversation than just an email back and forth. Here's just our course description. And you already have this as well, but I just included this for, just kind of what Art 111 is about, and what we'll be doing this semester. So we'll kind of skip through this a little bit just because we do have some time restraints today, but if you want to come back to these learning outcomes, you're more than welcome to. I think the most important thing to kind of note here is that our class is an OER content class. So that just stands for online or open educational resources. So we do not have a formal textbook in this class. And this is something that's sort of new amongst like community colleges, especially colleges that are partnering with high schools that don't have the funds or don't have the means to purchase textbooks like every semester as the class changes. So this can be a really great thing, but it is really important that you are keeping up with your online lecture material. And I do that in the form of ed puzzles. So we'll talk more about ed puzzles in a little bit and what those look like and what those are going to consist of. So let's move on here. Just some basic requirements. We will be using Blackboard for all of our course modules and assignment submissions. So if there's some point at the semester that you're having trouble logging into Blackboard, you'll need to contact technology services and me immediately just to let me know that you're having that issue. And again, this is in here just probably 4 or 5 times, but if you are contacting like IT department or me or anyone else on the Gaston College campus, you must use your email address that ends in gaston.edu. So the attendance policy, there's a lot of just sort of like jargon stuff going on here, but the attendance policy for a totally online class, which is what we are, you cannot go 21 days, consecutive days, so like one after the other, without submitting an activity and remain in the class. So like on the 21st day, you'll be withdrawn from the class if you have not submitted an activity. And the definition of like an assignment or an activity for online classes can be really anything, even an email to me, like if we have like a direct email correspondence, that is considered being like attending the class. So for me, that is attending or submitting any type of discussion assignment, taking a quiz, watching an Ed Puzzle video even. There's a lot of things that can be counted as attending. So just be sure you're monitoring that, because it is a pretty like flexible policy, but you don't want to fall behind and rely too much on this policy, because as we'll see later, there will be some consequences to that. This is, again, just kind of outlining that online attendance policy and what that is what that looks like. If you do want to withdraw from the course, you need to do so before this date right here. It's the 20th of April. If you do not withdraw before that date and you try to, or if you do not withdraw by that date, then you will receive an F or whatever the grade might have been without continuing on. So you'll have to finish the class if you don't withdraw before that date. You can't get a W on your transcript. And then additionally, our census date for this course is the 8th of February. So to remain enrolled in the course, you have to submit an activity, specifically our course entry quiz, before that date. And we'll talk about that in just a second as well. Makeup work policy, I've got a couple slides about this, but this is the college policy. If like I was not to have any type of policy, this is what it would look like. However, I am very much a stickler about late work. I teach 6 double sections of art appreciation, and just keeping up with like the work that is turned in on time alone is a very, very hard task to do. And I don't allow makeup work or late work, because it just gets messy. Things get forgotten, things get lost in emails. And so it's just, I don't do late work unless they're just like crazy outstanding circumstances. And we'll get to that a little bit more as well. Additionally, my email policy, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the next one because I think they're a little bit out of order. Okay, here's the late work policy. So under no circumstances do I allow makeup work or late work in this course without outstanding circumstances. The following are the only exceptions to this policy. For late work, the student must provide 7 days notice that they need an extension on the deadline. However, I do have the right to deny this request if it's something that I don't deem worthy of needing late work for. Students, if you do miss an assignment and it's because there is like a medical reason or another outstanding circumstance that we can, talk about and consider if that arises, you have to have documentation proving that that was the case. So a like formal doctor's note is what I would need in order to excuse you and to allow you to create or to submit your late work. And then again, I realize this course requires you to submit all work online, meaning that there stands the possibility for the following and more to happen: internet outages, failed Wi-Fi, losing a charging cable, missing the deadline by 1 minute, etc. I have heard every excuse under the moon, under the sun, the stars, for why there has been late work or why you couldn't submit something on time. And I honestly, I don't want to be, rude or anything like that to you, or non-considerate or unsympathetic, but I really don't have time to like keep going through these like errors that pop up and things that honestly you should probably take care of before we get to this point. Most of these things happen at like 11:50 at night on Sundays, like 10 minutes before the assignment is due, and that is not a time that I am able to respond to you. And these issues should be cleared up before then. If you think that you might have some like bad Wi-Fi or something like that, don't wait until the last minute. That's my advice on late work, is just don't wait to the last minute. You have the time there, and if you need it, it's there for you. But if you wait until that last minute, you are risking one or more of the following to occur. So again, that's I'm pretty laid back, pretty chill about most everything, but as far as turning in late work, I am a pretty big stickler for that. I'll work with you on other things if you need, clarification on things, if you need to meet and, there's hard hours, whatnot. I'm, very, very chill about most things, but as far as turning in late work, that's my one thing that I am always going to be very tight and diligent on. So let's go back to this slide right here. about the email policy. So again, must use your gaston.edu email address to from the college to submit emails to me. If you are not using that, it either won't come to me or there'll be a big warning pop up and I can get in a lot of trouble for it. So do not message me, and I won't respond to you if there's an email that comes through from email that is not that gaston.edu email address. Additionally, like I said before, I teach 6 sections of art appreciation, and they all say Art 111 and then 3 numbers at the end of them. So if you say your name and you say like, hey, my name is Sarah from Art 111, help me do this. That's not enough information for me to find you and like get your information quickly enough. And it just, if you will just add those 3 numbers. So for our class specifically, it's D6G. I can find you on the roster a lot quicker, and I can help you like with whatever it is that you're dealing with a lot faster. And then additionally, I do have, I'll show you in a minute, this email netiquette little section that is in our course information policy. And we are in a college level class. Even if you are in high school, you are, emailing between college professors, and this is a very professional environment. So I do expect you to be using proper email etiquette to communicate with me. So addressing who, you're emailing, signing off with your name, and making sure that you're writing in complete sentences and that you're being clear with what it is that you are needing. It's gonna be, if you don't take the steps, these 1, 2, 3 steps, I either will not respond to your email, or it will take me a very long time to get back to you, because I don't have those bits of information. So if I don't respond to your email, just look back through these email policies, and if you haven't done one of the following, that's probably why I have not responded to you. Some other important information, all of the assignments that we have, and this is because of the online attendance policy with the 21-day consecutive, whatever. I do everything on adaptive release. And so assignments, discussions, and quizzes are on adaptive release and will only be visible the week that they are due. So at 12 a.m. on Mondays, the adaptive release will reset to the next week. And it is very important that you submit your work before 11:59 p.m. on Sundays for that week. So you have the whole week to submit everything. If you want to, wait until Saturday to do all of your work, if you work all through the week and that's the only time that you have to do it, totally fine. That's, it does not matter to me, but you only have that week to complete that week's worth of information. And then additionally, that does mean that you cannot work ahead in this class. I've had lots of students, and other professors have had lots of students as well, that will do like 4 weeks worth of work and not be on for a month. And then they get kicked out of the class, not because they are failing or that they have, not submitted any work, but because they have not been active in 21 days. And I know that is, if I were in your position, I would want to do something like that and, work ahead and get things done, especially if I had other things going on, other obligations. But for this college, you unfortunately cannot do that. So everything is set up week by week. And you'll have a calendar that shows you, this assignment, and this assignment is due this week, and this is the ones that'll be due next week. So that's just, an important thing to remember. And then it's also just important to remember that because with everything being on adaptive release, if you're working on Sunday night and it is 11:58 p.m. and then, you're just trying to submit it, and then, all of a sudden it's midnight, before it uploads or before your computer loads or whatever it might be, that assignment will be closed. It's a very, very time sensitive thing. And then that will be a situation where you'll say, it was 12:01 a.m. and my assignment didn't go through because my Wi-Fi was bad, blah, 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 blah. That's one of those things where I'm going to say, I'm sorry, try again next week. So, just be aware of those things, make sure that you're keeping up with them and that you're not waiting to the last minute to submit things. Here are some of our resources that we have at Gaston College. We have the Writing Center. We do have a lot of writing and art appreciation, especially with online classes. And so if you are not a strong writer, if that's sort of like, a weak spot for you, then I would really highly recommend reaching out to the Writing Center. There is an online form here to talk with them, and then also their resources and or their email address, their phone, and location as well. So that would be something I would definitely utilize if you haven't had a lot of like prior English classes, or if you know that writing is not your strong suit. This is not an English class, so I'm you know, giving out this material and grading this material as if you have already had, you know, some sort of English class before it, which is sort of like a prereq for the classes that you do have, like that basic English class before. And so I don't, I'm gonna take points off, but I'm not gonna like tell you how to correct those things, because that's something that you should already know. I'm here to teach you art appreciation, not English. I expect you just already have, you know, a decent amount of skills in being able to compose a paper and, you know, just write formally with proper grammar, proper spelling, proper punctuation. But you do have resources available to you if you feel like you need help with that. I'm going to, I have no idea what the time is right now. Kind of see where we're at. Okay, try to kind of speed things up. So as far as methods of evaluation go, we've got several types of assignments in this class, which is a really good thing, because if you do happen to miss like one thing, it's not a huge deal. We have lots of assignments in this class. And so if you do have like, you know, 1-0, it's not gonna, you know, be terribly affecting your grade as long as you're submitting the rest of the assignments. Not to say, you know, don't submit your assignments, but it's not the end of the world if you miss like one ed puzzle or, you know, one discussion or something like that. So our first one that we need to talk about is participation. So, you know, it's kind of weird, participation in online classes. But the way that I do this is with our Ed Puzzles, which is our lecture material. Ed Puzzle is a website that will like house videos and let you kind of watch videos, and it also documents like when you watch the video. So I count these as grades. And so the Ed Puzzles are linked in all of the modules, and you'll just click on the links and watch the video. You can't skip ahead on these videos. It's not permitted for you. So you'll have to watch the whole thing to get credit for it. But as long as you're watching all of those, you'll get, you know, 100 on all of those. And then additionally with Ed Puzzles, sometimes there is built-in questions that go along with Ed Puzzles, and you need to make sure that you answer all of the questions that present themselves. Otherwise you might not get the grade that you would expect to get. The next things are assignments and discussions. Assignments are just what they sound like. They are you following prompts and addressing each of the respective tasks. You'll need to submit both writing and images in one document, preferably a Word document, and upload to the assignments. And then our discussions, very similar to assignments. However, discussions require students to respond to their classmates and as well as submit their own. And then you must respond in a thoughtful manner that will be counted into your final grade. So the way you'll do this, and you probably had discussions before, I'm sure they're very, very common, especially since like a lot of classes went online with COVID going on. But discussions, essentially, you will create a thread, post your initial response, and then you'll see everybody else's that has posted, and then you'll just respond to one of those as well. Quizzes, each module will have a quiz. So we have 8 modules total. There's a little, you know, less than 1 module per week. And then each module has a quiz with 5 to 10 questions in it. But quizzes will consist of multiple choice, fill in the blank, and true or false style questions. Projects, these are our biggest grades for sure. We have 3 projects throughout the class. We've got an art analysis paper, we have got a PowerPoint presentation, and we have a project where we will actually build our own websites. And these are pretty heavily weighted projects, but they are only 3 of them, and they are divided pretty, you know, they're spaced out throughout the semester. So just make sure that you're looking into those and that you're taking those really seriously, because you know, this art analysis paper is worth 10% of your grade, and like all of participation is worth 10% of your grade. So if you miss just this one thing, it will affect your grade pretty significantly. Some extra credit opportunities I want to mention. If your grade's looking a little low, you can attend an approved art exhibition on campus. This could be an art exhibit reception or another art experience. I'll always make you aware of these in the announcements when they pop up. And but you can also follow the Gaston College Art Galleries on Facebook and Instagram for upcoming events. I do have one opportunity that's already available. So if you want to go ahead and do that and just save your points for later on, The way that I apply the points is that if you attend an art gallery, just like a normal, just art gallery experience, then I will apply 20 points extra credit to one of your assignments. So if you have like a 60 on a quiz, I'll bump it up to an 80. All you have to do is go to the gallery and take a selfie in the gallery and then email that photo to me. There's no writing portion to it. You just have to show me that you went and that you were amongst the art. So the first one is in the Rausch Gallery at Gaston College on the Dallas campus, and it is a show called Insatiable Fibers. All you got to do is show a selfie of you at the show and to receive extra credit points on an assignment or quiz. Lastly, our final exam, we have a part A and part B of a multiple choice, fill in the blank, a true or false test. And we will have a study guide for this assignment as well. But there's, I don't like to put too much pressure on this final exam. They're just like quizzes, test formats in general. I much more like to see how you are critically thinking about something and, how you're writing about things and that sort of thing. So, we'll get to the final exam, but I'm not a big advocate of, trying to judge someone's level of intelligence or understanding of content through a multiple choice test. So we'll talk about this more, but we are required to have this type of final exam. And to end with our just sort of last slide here, you are now officially a Gaston College student. If you were not already before, you are able to have all of the privileges and perks that come with being a Gaston College student. So you can have access to the gym facilities, library access, student discounts, and more. You can also get yourself a student ID made, which if you do want to access the library and gym facilities, you'll need to get a student ID made. But additionally, this also comes with the expectations of college students in the class. So make sure that you are professional, mature, and respectful at all times when you're communicating with me and when you are posting your work as well. So I'm going to jump back over to our Blackboard page here. And I'm just going to click through a couple things quickly. We've got our course entry quiz here. After we finish this meeting, I would just go ahead and take that course entry quiz. It takes you literally 10 seconds to do, but that is how you enter into the course. So do that as soon as possible if you haven't already. Right here, we've got our course information page. This is going to outline my email policy, that netiquette little blurb I was talking about earlier about email policy or email etiquette is going to be listed right there. And then also our calendar is listed here as well. So this is really important. I would probably just print this out if I were you guys and just, put it in your binder or wherever else you're keeping things. And this way you'll know, day by day what we're expected to do. For this week, the one we're on right now, we're just working on the Start Here module, just like the Welcome to Art Appreciation, reviewing course expectations, calendar, syllabus, all of that, completing our course entry quiz, and then we do have an icebreaker discussion as well. This is just showing our semester dates, some faculty and student breaks, holiday breaks, breakdown of the methods of evaluation, and then just another letting you know that assignments are always due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. Let's jump to, we've got our faculty information here as well in case you need to contact me again. And then our Start Here module. This is going to outline our icebreaker discussion and just show you how to, submit your work here. Essentially, all we're doing for this one is that you are discussing your favorite artwork. If you don't have a favorite artwork, you can go on Google Art and Culture and you can look around there and get all your information that you need. You'll need to have an image of it. You'll need to be able to label it correctly. You'll need to create a thread and embed your image into the discussion board and use about 150 words to describe why you chose it as your favorite. And then respond to at least 3 classmates in a meaningful way, more than just good job. So I want to make sure that we are, okay, we've already got a few of these going on here. With the discussions, it's really, really easy to post. All you have to do is write in the text box there. You go to create a thread and then write your subject, your message, and just press submit. And I believe that's really all that we need to go over in this section. The modules page right here is where all of our other work will be listed at, and you'll have all of your modules, all of your due dates again listed there. Please make note though that there are only 8 modules and this is a 13-week class. So sometimes we'll spend more than 1 week on one module. So like, for example, module 2, I think we spend like 2 or 3 weeks actually on it. Whereas, with module 1, we only spend 1 week and so on and so forth. So, but don't worry about this yet. Once you finish your Start Here information, then you can start focusing on that. And lastly, the last thing I want to kind of mention, we do have Zoom weekly meetings, and I just clicked on the Zoom page there. This is a recurring meeting, and it will always be on Mondays at 1 p.m. And I know that does not work for everybody. You are not required by any means to come to the recurring weekly meetings. I will be here kind of doing the same thing, just walking you through every assignment that we've got for that week. And if there's anything else going on, any announcements or anything, I will just be verbally here to, or physically here, I guess, to talk you through that. And that's pretty much it. Also with those weekly meetings, if you do want to use that for like office hour time, I will be able to answer any questions that you might have, or set up an office hour meeting with you. But then additionally, those will be recorded just as this one is going to be, and then posted onto our announcements page. So even if you can't make it, you can still watch the video later on. You just won't be able to like ask questions live. That'll be the only disadvantage that you have. But otherwise, I think that's all that we need to really know to get started. Just to kind of recap, we need to make sure that we do our course entry quiz as soon as possible, as well as doing our icebreaker discussion sometime this week before 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. That's when both of those things will close. And then additionally, our census date is on the 8th, and you have to have that course entry quiz entered by then. Otherwise, though, you guys are good to go. I appreciate you meeting if you came. And if you have any questions, feel free to stick around and I will try to answer those for you. But otherwise, you're good to go. I'm going to stop the video and I will post the recording shortly after this.